Sunlight filtered through cracks in the ancient ceiling, as Lily Mason stepped carefully over fallen stone columns. She wiped sweat from her forehead and adjusted her backpack. The air inside the temple felt cool against her skin, a welcome relief. From the scorching desert outside, this expedition was supposed to be simple map. The newly discovered ruins, take some samples, and return to base. But Lily had wandered away from her team, fascinated by symbols carved into walls that matched no known language in the database. Her flashlight beam danced across weathered stone walls, revealing intricate patterns that seemed to pulse with an inner light. The deeper she ventured, the more the patterns changed, shifting from abstract designs to what appeared to be a story. The images depicted tall, slender beings with elongated limbs and eyes that covered nearly half their faces. Lily ran her fingers along one carving, feeling a strange warmth beneath her touch. The stone hummed softly, sending vibrations up her arm. She pulled back, startled, but curiosity pushed her forward. Around a corner, the passage opened into a vast chamber. The ceiling soared overhead, covered in a mosaic of what looked like star charts. Unlike the rest of the ruins, this room appeared untouched by time. Lily gasped as her light revealed a raised platform in the center. On the platform rested what she first thought was a statue. A figure lay perfectly still, arms crossed over its chest. The being appeared female, with silvery skin that reflected light like polished metal. Her face, peaceful in repose, bore those same large eyes from the wall carvings, closed as if in sleep. Lily approached carefully, each step echoing in the massive chamber. She aimed her flashlight directly at the figure, noticing now that the skin wasn't stone at all but something smoother, almost like liquid metal. Without thinking, Lily reached out, touching the figure's arm. The effect was immediate. The chamber erupted in light as symbols along. The walls glowed bright blue. The figure's eyes snapped open, revealing irises that swirled with colors no human eye had ever displayed. Lily stumbled back, heart pounding, as the being sat up, moving with impossible grace. Despite her terror, Lily couldn't look away. The alien woman turned her head, studying Lily with those swirling eyes. "May the stars guide your path." The alien woman spoke, her voice melodic, yet somehow ancient. The language was nothing Lily had ever heard, yet somehow she understood perfectly. "What are you?" Lily whispered. "I am Cathara, last warrior of the Luminari." The alien woman rose to her full height, nearly 7 feet tall, her silvery skin rippling like water in sunlight. "Your touch has awakened me after 10,000 cycles of sleep." Lily shook her head, struggling to process what was happening. "I didn't mean to. I was just exploring." Cathara tilted her head, examining Lily with intense curiosity. "You wear no battle armor, carry no energy weapons. Yet you ventured here alone. You must be either very brave or very foolish." Maybe both. Lily admitted, finding her voice again. "I'm a scientist and archaeologist. I study ancient civilizations." Thera stepped down from the platform, her movements fluid and graceful. She circled Lily, like a predator assessing prey. "Your species is new to me. Your world was not among our territories when the Great Darkness came." Great Darkness, the war that consumed 1,000 worlds. Cathara gestured to the walls where the glowing symbols now animated, showing scenes of destruction. Massive ships firing upon planets, entire worlds cracking apart. "We fought, we lost, we scattered. I was guardian of this outpost, tasked with waiting for the call to reunite. When it never came, I entered." Stasis. Lily felt a chill despite the warmth of the chamber. "How long have you been here? By your planet's rotations, perhaps 50,000 years. Cathara replied casually. Lily gasped. "That's impossible. No creature could survive that long. My people do not age as yours do." Cathara's lips curved in what might have been a smile, and the temple preserves, a sound from the passage made both turn. Heather Kelly appeared at the entrance to the chamber, her eyes widening at the scene before her. "Lily, thank God we've been looking everywhere for you." Heather stopped mid-sentence as she noticed Cathara. "What in the world?" Lily, keep still. Heather reached slowly for the pistol at her hip. "Standard protection against desert predators." "No." Lily raised her hands. "It's okay. She's not dangerous." "Well, I don't think she is." Thera observed the interaction with detached interest. Your companion fears me. This is wise. Heather kept her hand near her weapon. Who and what is that? Her name is Cathera. Lily explained. She says she's been asleep in this temple. For 50,000 years, Heather didn't take her eyes off the alien. That's impossible. Many things once thought impossible simply await discovery, Cathera commented. She turned suddenly, her head tilting as if listening to something beyond human hearing. They come who comes? Lily asked, the Voidborn. Cathera moved with blinding speed to the wall, pressing her palm against a symbol. The entire chamber shuddered as a section of the floor slid open, revealing steps leading down. They followed me here after all this time. What are you talking about? Heather demanded. There is no time. Cathera grabbed Lily's wrist, her touch cool and firm. Your world stands on the edge of extinction. The Voidborn consume all life they touch. They destroyed my civilization. They will do the same to yours. A deep rumble shook the temple. Dust and small stones rained from the ceiling. The temple defenses activate. Cathera pulled Lily toward the stairs. You must come now, both of you. Knowledge of the old wars sleeps in this temple. Knowledge your kind will need to survive. But my team, Lily protested. Call them. Bring them, Cathera urged. We have little time. Heather spoke into her radio, ordering evacuation, as Lily stared at the alien warrior woman who had just announced the end of the world. The ground trembled again, stronger this time. Cathera's eyes glowed brighter. I was not the only guardian placed in stasis. Others wait in temples across the stars. We must awaken them all, if your species is to have any chance. Lily looked at Heather, then back to Cathera. She had come seeking knowledge of the past. Instead, she had found a warrior from a dead civilization and a warning of humanity's future. Well, go with you. Lily decided. Cathera nodded, her expression solemn. Your courage honors your species. Little one, you have awakened more than just me today. You have awakened your world's only hope. As they descended the hidden stairs, the temple sealed itself behind them. The warrior woman led them deeper into the earth, where secrets of an ancient war and weapons beyond human understanding waited to be discovered. Somewhere above them, something massive struck the planet's surface. The first harbinger of the Voidborn had arrived. The rest of Lily's team gathered at the base camp a mile from the temple site. Karen Wright, the expedition leader, paced nervously as she tried to raise Lily and Heather on the radio. Something is wrong, she muttered to Amy Bolton, the team's geologist. They should have reported in hours ago. Amy looked up from her equipment. The readings are off the charts. Something is happening at the temple site. Seismic activity, electromagnetic pulses like nothing I've ever seen. Karen was about to respond when the ground beneath them trembled violently. Equipment toppled from tables as everyone struggled to keep their balance. A deafening roar filled the air, forcing them to cover their ears. What was that? Amy shouted when the noise finally subsided. Karen pointed to the horizon where a massive column of dust rose above the temple site. We need to evacuate now. Get everyone to the trucks before they could move. The radio crackled to life. Heather's voice came through, broken by static. Karen, get everyone out now. Head for the secondary site, I repeat. Evacuate immediately. Karen grabbed the radio. This is Karen, what's happening? Where are you? And Lily? No time to explain. Heather's voice was urgent. Just go. We'll meet you there. Karen hesitated, torn between her duty to the team and her concern for the two missing members. Reluctantly, she gave the order to evacuate. The team scrambled into vehicles and sped away from the camp. As they crested a ridge, Karen looked back just in time to see something impossible. A massive shape, darker than the night sky itself, descended through the clouds. It was unlike any aircraft she'd ever seen. Its surface seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. It moved with deliberate purpose, heading directly for the temple site. Mother of God, Karen whispered. What have we found? Deep beneath the temple, Cathera led Lily and Heather through a network of tunnels that seemed to stretch for miles. The walls glowed with the same blue light as the symbols above, providing just enough illumination to see. Where are we going? Lily asked. trying to keep pace. With Cthara's long strides to the heart of the temple, Cthara replied without slowing. The void-born hunter above us is only a scout, but where one travels, others will follow. We must prepare. Heather, who had been silent since they entered the tunnels, finally spoke. You keep talking about these void-born. What exactly are they? Cthara paused at an intersection of tunnels, considering Heather's question. They are not like you or me. They are not born. They simply are beings of pure void energy that consume all life. They exist between spaces, searching for worlds rich with life energy, and they destroyed your civilization. Lily said. Cthara nodded. Not just mine. 100 others before. The Luminari were the last to stand against them. We created weapons, forged alliances, built temples like this one across many worlds. But in the end, we too fell. The alien warrior continued walking, leading them deeper. I was part of the final defense, a warrior priestess tasked with preserving our knowledge and weapons, until the time came to rise again. They reached a circular chamber smaller than the one above, but no less impressive. The walls were lined with what looked like pods, similar to. The heart of the temple hummed with energy as Cthara worked at the control pedestal. Her long fingers danced across symbols that responded to her touch. The floating sphere above the pedestal pulsed with each command, growing brighter until it illuminated the entire chamber. Lily and Heather watched in silence, both women struggling to process everything they'd seen. Lily, the archaeologist in her, thrilled at witnessing a living representative of an ancient civilization, while the human in her trembled with fear at Cthara's warnings. The scout vessel has landed, Cthara announced without looking up. The temple shields will hide us for now, but we cannot stay here. What exactly is this place? Lily asked, stepping closer to examine the technology surrounding. Cthara paused in her work. This temple is one of many seed vaults scattered across the stars when we realized our civilization might fall. We preserved our knowledge, our technology, and in some cases our people. You mean there are more like you? Heather asked. Cthara nodded. If they survived. There were 12 warrior priestesses chosen to guard the most important temples. I was the guardian of weapons and defense technology. Others protected medicine, agriculture, biology, stellar navigation, all aspects needed to rebuild or to help another species resist the voidborn. The sphere suddenly projected images into the air. A three-dimensional map of stars appeared with 12 points highlighted across different systems. These are the temples, Cthara explained. The closest is 3 star systems away. What you call Alpha Centauri, but that's impossible, Heather protested. We can't travel between stars. Not yet. Cthara smiled for the first time, a sight both beautiful and unsettling. The temple can before. Either woman could ask what she meant. Cthara pressed her palm flat against the pedestal. The entire chamber shuddered as sections of the wall slid open, revealing alcoves filled with objects unlike anything the humans had seen before. These are Luminari, battle suits. Cthara gestured to what looked like liquid metal suspended in fields of energy. They respond to thought and enhance strength, speed, and senses. They also shield against void-born energy. Weapons. Heather approached one of the suits cautiously. You expect us to wear these? Cthara tilted her head. You are small and fragile compared to the enemy. You will need protection. Lily studied the alien technology with fascination. How do they work? Cthara beckoned Lily closer. Come, I will show you. As Lily stepped forward, Heather grabbed her arm. Wait. How do we know we can trust her? This could all be some trick. Cthara regarded Heather with those swirling eyes. Doubt is wise, warrior. But ask yourself this. If I meant you harm, why would I still be talking? Lily gently removed Heather's hand. I don't think we have much choice, Heather. Something did land out there, and it's not one of ours. Heather reluctantly let go, but her expression remained guarded. Fine. But I'm watching you. Cthara inclined her head as if accepting a challenge. Then she turned to one of the alcoves. The metal within seemed to respond to her presence, flowing like quicksilver. It emerged from its containment field and spread across Cthara's body, covering her completely in seconds. When it settled, she stood before them encased in armor that gleamed like polished chrome, yet moved as if it were a second skin. The helm formed last, sealing around her head, before the faceplate became transparent, revealing her features. I have updated the temple systems and activated the emergency protocols. We must prepare to leave soon. Where are we going? Lily asked. First to rejoin your companions, then to secure your world's defenses. Heather crossed her arms. How exactly are we supposed to explain you to our team? Or to the rest of the world for that matter? Thara considered this. Your species has authority structures. Yes, leaders who make decisions for many. We have governments. Lily explained, but convincing them of all this. She gestured around the chamber. It won't be easy. Truth rarely is, Cathara replied. But the Void-born scout above will make its presence known soon enough. When it does, your leaders will listen. The sphere pulsed, suddenly projecting new images, a dark shape moving across the desert. Surface magnification showed a creature unlike anything from Earth. Its body seemed to absorb light, bending and distorting the air around it. It moved with unnatural speed, heading directly for the research team's evacuation route. It hunts Cathara, said her voice hardening. It senses life energy and follows it. Your companions are in danger. We have to warn them. Heather pulled out her radio, but only static came through. Damn it, something is blocking the signal. The Void-born presence disrupts electromagnetic waves, Cathara explained. We must go to them now. The sphere can guide us through the temple network to intercept their path. What about all this? Lily gestured to the technology around them. We can't just leave it. The temple will protect itself, Cathara assured her. Now we must choose quickly. More scouts will come. Heather looked at the image of the creature, then back to Cathara. What exactly are our chances against that thing? Thara's expression was unreadable. In these suits with my guidance better than you might think. Without me. None. Lily stepped forward, determinedly. What do we need to do? Cathara moved to the two remaining alcoves. Two more suits emerged, liquid metal flowing into the chamber. The suits are adaptive. They will conform to your bodies and respond to your thoughts. You need only accept them. Lily approached one of the hovering masses of metal. It rippled as she drew near, as if sensing her presence. She glanced at Heather, who still looked skeptical. Are you sure about this, Heather? Asked. No, Lily admitted. But I don't see another option. She took a deep breath and stepped into the alcove. The metal responded immediately, flowing around her body. It felt cool at first, then warm as it sealed against her skin. For a moment, panic threatened to overwhelm her as the material covered her face. But then the faceplate cleared and she could breathe normally. The sensation was unlike anything she'd ever experienced. The suit felt weightless. Yet she sensed incredible strength in her limbs. Information scrolled across her vision in symbols that somehow translated themselves into meanings she could understand. It's incredible, she whispered, testing her movement. The suit responded perfectly, amplifying her motions without effort. Heather watched with wide eyes, then looked at the remaining suit. With a reluctant sigh, she stepped forward. I can't believe I'm doing this. The third suit enveloped her in the same manner. When it completed its formation, all three women stood in identical armor, though Cathara's was slightly larger to accommodate her taller frame. Now we are ready, Cathara said. The suits will protect you from most void-born attacks. They also enhance your natural abilities. You will be stronger, faster, more resilient. Follow me and stay close. She led them to a section of wall that slid open, revealing a transport platform. Step on and clear your minds. The temple will take us where we need to go. Karen Wright pushed the accelerator to its limit as the research team convoy sped across the desert. The three vehicles kicked up massive dust clouds behind them, obscuring their trail at least temporarily. Something told her that would not be enough, Amy. Bolton clutched the dashboard as they bounced over rough terrain. Did you see that thing, Karen? What was it? Karen kept her eyes on the terrain ahead. I don't know. But whatever it wasn't from Earth. In the back seat, Dr. Nancy Peters, the team's linguist, was reviewing footage from her camera. I got some images of it before we left. The way it moved. It seemed almost fluid, like it was changing shape as it moved. We need to contact headquarters, Karen said grimly. Let them know what we've found. Nancy shook her head. I tried while you were getting everyone into the vehicles. No signal. Nothing but static. Great, Karen muttered. Just great. A shadow passed overhead, moving faster than any aircraft should be able to fly. The convoy swerved instinctively as Karen tried to keep the vehicle under control. It's following us, Amy said, her voice rising with panic. Karen glanced at the rearview mirror and her blood went cold. The shape was descending directly behind them, closing the distance rapidly. Everyone hang on, she shouted, swerving sharply off the marked trail toward a narrow canyon. The other vehicles followed her lead. The canyon walls might offer some protection or at least make them harder to track as they entered the canyon. The temperature seemed to drop dramatically. Frost formed on the windshield, an impossibility in the desert heat. Nancy leaned forward between the front seats. Something is happening to the air. Karen didn't have time to respond as a black shape landed directly in their path. She slammed on the brakes, sending the vehicle into a skid. The other two vehicles behind them crashed into each other as they too tried to stop. The thing stood before them, its form shifting constantly between humanoid and something utterly alien. It seemed to pull light into itself, creating a darkening effect around it. The air crackled with energy as it took a step toward them. Get out, Karen ordered, grabbing her pack from behind the seat. Everyone out now. The research team scrambled from their vehicles, several people screaming as they got their first clear look at the creature. It tilted what might have been its head, studying them with what appeared to be curiosity. Then it moved with terrifying speed, seizing one of the junior researchers, Dan Bailey. He didn't even have time to scream as the creature lifted him. The darkness of its form seemed to flow over him, enveloping him completely. When it withdrew, nothing remained of Dan, but dust. Karen watched in horror as the creature turned its attention to the rest of the team. Weapons, she shouted. Some of the security personnel drew sidearms, firing at the entity. The bullets passed through it, having no effect whatsoever. The Voidborn scout moved like liquid darkness flowing across the canyon floor with unnatural speed. Its form shifted constantly, never settling on one shape as it charged toward the research team. Panic spread among the scientists as they scrambled back toward their vehicles. Stay behind us, Cathara commanded, her voice amplified by her suit. She raised both arms, energy crackling between her palms before launching forward to meet the creature. Lily and Heather flanked her, their movements enhanced by their battle suits. Lily felt a strange calmness descend over her as battle information flowed through her mind. The suit was guiding her, teaching her how to fight. The Voidborn lashed out with tendril-like appendages that emerged from its amorphous form. Cathara dodged with impossible grace while Heather rolled to the side, firing energy blasts from her palms. Each blast seemed to tear away pieces of the creature, which dissolved into smoke before reforming. Lily, focus on the central mass, Cathara commanded. Strike when I create an opening. Lily nodded, amazed at how naturally the suit responded to her thoughts. She circled the creature, looking for the pattern in its movements. The suit highlighted vulnerabilities in her visual field marking. Optimal strike points. Cathara engaged the creature directly, her armor absorbing attacks that would have disintegrated a human instantly. She moved with the fluid grace of a dancer, yet struck with devastating force. Each blow drove the creature back, forcing it to reform. Heather provided covering fire, keeping the creature off balance. Her security training made her a natural with the weapon systems of the suit. She found she could intuitively direct energy blasts with increasing precision now. Cathara shouted as she drove both fists into the creature, tearing its mass apart temporarily. Lily lunged forward, feeling her suit channel energy to her hands. She struck the exposed core of the creature, driving her energized fist deep into its center. The Voidborn convulsed its form, destabilizing as Lily jumped back. Cathara moved in for the killing blow. A blade of pure energy formed from her arm. She sliced through what remained of the creature with a final shriek that resonated in their minds. The Voidborn scout collapsed into itself, imploding with a shockwave that knocked everyone off their feet. When the dust settled, nothing remained of the creature but a scorched patch of earth. Lily stared at her hands, unable to believe what she'd just done. She had helped destroy an alien threat. The suit had guided her, but she had acted. The power was both terrifying and exhilarating. The battle lasted less than a minute. But to the watching research team, it had been an eternity of horror and wonder. Karen approached cautiously as the three armored figures turned toward them. Lily, she called, her voice shaking. What is happening? What was that thing? And what are you wearing? Lily let her faceplate become transparent again. It's complicated, Karen, but we need to move. The scout sent a signal before we destroyed it. More will come. Heather's faceplate also cleared, revealing her tense expression. The team needs medical attention, and we need to report this. Get the military involved. Thara stepped forward, her imposing presence causing several team members to back away. Your conventional weapons will be useless against the Voidborn. We need to reach your world leaders directly. Karen stared up at the alien warrior. What are you? I am Cathara, last warrior priestess of the Luminari. Cathara replied, These humans awakened me from stasis. Now I fight with them to protect your world. Nancy, the linguist, stepped forward, cautiously studying Cathara with professional interest. The symbols. In the temple, they were your language. Cathara nodded. The temple contains our history, our knowledge, and our weapons, all of which your species will need. Amy Bolton had been examining the scorched ground where the Voidborn had fallen. She looked up, her scientific curiosity overcoming her fear. That thing had absorbed light matter too. It killed Dan, consumed him. Cathara turned to her. The Voidborn feed on life energy. Their touch dissolves organic matter, converting it to energy they can absorb. Each one you saw consume will make it stronger. A cold silence fell over the group as the implications sank in. We need to move. Heather insisted, checking the scanner built into her suit. 2 more energy signatures approaching from the north. Fast. Cathara nodded toward the vehicles. Can your machines carry us to safety? Karen shook herself from her shock. Yes, they can. If we can get them running again. She turned to the team drivers. Check the engines, everyone else grab only what you need. We leave. In 5 minutes, as the team rushed to prepare, Lily approached Cathara. The suit is amazing, she said. It feels like it's teaching me how to use it. It is, Cathara confirmed. The battle suits contain not just protective technology, but the knowledge of generations of Luminari warriors. Each time you use it, you learn. It becomes more attuned to you. Heather joined them. Her expression serious. Cathara, I need to know. Is there any way to contact others like you? The other temples you mentioned. Cathara looked to the sky. The temple network can send signals across vast distances, but to awaken the other guardians, we must return to the heart of the temple. Karen called out. The vehicles are ready. We need to move. Now Cathara nodded. Let us depart. The convoy moved quickly through the canyon, with Cathara, Lily, and Heather taking positions around the vehicles. Their enhanced speed allowed them to keep pace easily. Occasionally, one would scout ahead, ensuring the path remained clear. In the lead vehicle, Karen drove while Amy monitored their position on satellite maps. Nancy sat in the back, reviewing footage of both the temple and the attack. I still can't believe this is happening, Karen said, her knuckles white on the steering wheel. Yesterday we were documenting an archaeological find. Today we're running from alien invaders with another alien protecting us. Amy looked up from her tablet. I managed to get one message out before communications went completely dark. Just a data packet with our coordinates and a priority alert. But I don't know if it went through. Nancy leaned forward, showing her camera screen to the others. Look at this. The battle. That energy Cathara used. I slowed down the footage. It's incredible. The way it counteracted the Voidborn. Karen glanced at the footage. Something caught her eye. Pull up the temple images again, she requested. Nancy scrolled through her files, stopping at images of the temple walls. The symbols. There, Amy pointed at a specific section. That pattern. It's the same energy signature Cathara used in battle. Karen processed this information. These temples, they weren't just shelters. They were weapons caches and research facilities. Nancy added, look at how these symbols are arranged. It's not just writing, it's equations, formulas. Outside, Lily ran alongside the convoy, marveling at her newfound abilities. The suit enhanced everything, her speed, her strength, even her senses. She could detect heat signatures through solid rock, hear conversations inside the vehicles, see details miles away. Kythera moved ahead periodically, stopping to survey their surroundings. Her movements were fluid, almost predatory. She signaled for the convoy to stop as they approached the edge of the canyon. "Beyond this point we are exposed," she explained when the others joined her. "The Voidborn will have reinforcements soon. We must reach your military base quickly. The nearest military installation is White Sands," Heather said. "Nearly 100 miles from here." Kythera considered this. "Too far. The temple transport system could take us, but we would need to return first." "What about calling for help?" Karen suggested. "Surely someone must have noticed that thing." Landing, Kythera shook her head. "The Voidborn emit a field that disrupts electromagnetic signals. Your communications will remain blocked within their influence radius." "So we're on our own," Amy said. "Not entirely," Kythera replied. "Your people are resourceful, and now you have luminary technology." She looked at Lily and Heather. "The battle suits you wear contain defensive capabilities beyond what you have used so far." Lily looked down at her hands. The suit had already taught her basic combat moves and energy projection. "What else can it do?" Kythera was about to answer when her posture suddenly stiffened. She raised her hand for silence, her head tilting as if listening to something beyond human hearing. "They come," she whispered. In the distance, the air seemed to darken as three shapes descended from the clouds larger than the scout they had faced before. "We need to move now," Kythera ordered back to the vehicles. "The canyon walls will offer some protection." Karen gunned the engine as everyone scrambled back into the vehicles. The convoy sped back into the canyon, taking a different fork than their entry route. Kythera, Lily and Heather ran alongside, maintaining a defensive perimeter. "What are our options?" Heather asked as they ran. Kythera considered. "The temple is 15 of your miles southeast. Its defenses could shelter us, but we'd be trapped," Amy pointed out from the window of her vehicle. "Not necessarily," Kythera replied. "The temple has other functions you have not yet seen." A roar echoed through the canyon walls, a sound that seemed to come from everywhere at once. The vehicle's sensors malfunctioned displays, flickering wildly. Temperature gauges plummeted as frost began forming on the windows. "They're trying to hurt us," Kythera realized, directing the convoy to turn at the next junction. "The Voidborn are intelligent hunters. They will attempt to drive us to a killing ground." Lily scanned the canyon walls, looking for an advantage. The suit enhanced her perception, showing structural weaknesses in the rock face. "Could we cause a rock slide block?" Their path, Kythera nodded. "The strategy has merit. Target the support points. The suit will guide you." The energy shield surrounding the group flickered as the Voidborn continued their assault. Each impact sent vibrations through the barrier. Kythera stood with arms outstretched, her armor glowing brightly as she channeled power to maintain their protection. Lily and Heather remained in formation, their suits linked to Kythera's, creating a triangular defense network. Inside the protective dome, the research team watched with a mixture of terror and awe as darkness clashed with light outside their sanctuary. The vehicle's engines had died completely, their electrical systems overwhelmed by the Voidborn presence. Kythera spoke, her voice strained. "We cannot remain defensive. The shield will fail eventually. We must strike back." Lily felt the battlesuit responding to her thoughts, showing her tactical options. "Strike back. How there are 3 of them, and they're bigger than the scout we faced." Kythera turned her swirling eyes toward Lily. "The Voidborn are powerful, but not invincible. They have weaknesses. Their connection to the void makes them vulnerable to certain energy frequencies. The temple weapons were designed to exploit this." Heather scanned the creatures, her suit analyzing their attack patterns. "These things are coordinated," she observed. "They attack in sequence, not simultaneously." Kythera nodded. "They function as a hunting pack. When the shield fails, they will focus their attention on the largest threat." "You," Lily realized. Kythera inclined her head. "And in that moment, you two must strike. Their attention will be divided, their defense compromised. Karen approached the edge of the shield, studying the creatures with scientific curiosity. Despite her fear, "Is there anything we can do?" she asked. "Those of us without your armor, Thora. Considered this, your vehicles contain chemical energy sources, yes, fuel." Karen confirmed. "We have extra canisters in the back, Thora." Explained, the Voidborn can absorb energy, but too much at once can overwhelm them, particularly if it is unstable. When I give the signal, create a distraction using your fuel. Karen nodded grimly, understanding the plan. She returned to the vehicles, gathering the other researchers to prepare. The shield flickered more frequently now, sections temporarily failing before. Cathara redirected energy to repair them. The Voidborn sensed the weakness, increasing the ferocity of their attacks. Cathara spoke quickly. "The battlesuits contain one offensive capability we have not yet utilized. The Luminary Light Spear. It channels all available energy into a single focused attack, but it will drain your suit's power temporarily, leaving you vulnerable." Heather checked her suit's energy reserves. The display in her helmet showed power at 87%. "Will it be enough to kill these things? One strike, one target." Cathara replied, "We must coordinate perfectly. To activate the spear, focus your intent on your primary weapon hand and draw from your core energy. The suit will guide you." A section of the shield collapsed completely before Cathara could restore it. One of the Voidborn partially penetrated the barrier, its darkness reaching like smoke toward the nearest vehicle. Nancy screamed as the darkness touched her leg. The material of her pants dissolved on contact to the skin beneath. Instantly blistering, Lily reacted without thinking, firing an energy blast that drove the creature back. The shield sealed again, but Cathara was visibly struggling now. Her armor dimmed as power reserves depleted. "We must act now," Cathara announced. "The shield will fail in moments. Prepare yourselves." Karen and her team had positioned fuel canisters around the perimeter of their defensive circle. They stood ready with flares, waiting for the signal. Cathara looked at each of her human allies. "We strike. Simultaneously, I will take the largest one in the center, Lily the one on the left, Heather the right. When the shield drops, move quickly. Target with precision." Lily felt fear, but also a strange exhilaration. The battlesuit hummed against her skin, responding to her emotions, focusing her mind. She imagined the light spear forming from her hand, and the suit displayed the proper technique in her mind. Cathara gave a final instruction. "After your strike, move immediately to protect the humans. Your suits will be temporarily weakened, but will still provide some defense. Are you ready?" Heather asked, looking at Lily as, "I'll ever be." Lily replied. Cathara raised her voice. "Now. Karen, now." The shield dropped. The world seemed to move in slow motion. Cathara launched forward with incredible speed directly at the central Voidborn. Karen and her team threw the fuel canisters, then ignited them with flares. The resulting explosions created a momentary wall of fire, disorienting the creatures. Lily moved to the left, the suit's guidance system highlighting the optimal attack vector. She felt energy gathering in her arm, coalescing into a brilliant spear of light that extended 3 feet from her clenched fist. The sensation was unlike anything she'd experienced. Before power flowing through her body focused to a singular point, the Voidborn turned toward her, darkness spreading like wings from its amorphous form. It sensed the threat. Too late. Lily drove the light spear directly into what appeared to be the creature's center mass. The spear pierced through the darkness, meeting resistance, then breaking through. Light erupted from within the creature. Its form convulsed, darkness shredding as energy cascaded through it. The Voidborn made no sound as it collapsed, inward imploding into nothingness. A shockwave knocked Lily backward, depleting her suit's remaining energy reserves. The armor went dark, becoming momentarily rigid before emergency systems engaged, restoring minimal function across the battlefield. Heather executed a similar strike. Her military precision made her attack flawless. The light spear penetrated her target, causing another implosion. The shockwave sent her tumbling across the ground. In the center, Cathara faced the largest of the Voidborn. Its form had solidified into something almost humanoid as it recognized the threat she posed. Two light spears formed from Cathara's hands as she engaged the creature directly. The battle between them was a blur of movement, darkness against light. Each strike from Cathara tore away portions of the Voidborn, but it regenerated quickly, adapting to her attack. Pattern. Lily struggled to her feet, her suit operating on minimal power. She saw Heather doing the same. The research team was vulnerable. Without the shield, Karen and Amy were helping Nancy, whose leg was severely burned where the Voidborn had touched her. We need to protect them. Lily called her suit could barely maintain its integrity. But she moved toward the civilians, forming a protective stance before them. Heather joined her, both women standing guard as Cathara continued her battle with the remaining Voidborn. The creature had grown more substantial, absorbing the energy from the fuel explosions. Its attacks became more precise, more powerful. Cathara was being driven back. It's winning. Heather said, her voice tight with concern. Cathara fought with incredible skill, but the Voidborn had adapted to her attack pattern. It avoided her light spears, now focusing on wearing her down. Its darkness spread around her, attempting to envelop her completely. The suit's communication system crackled as Cathara spoke, her voice strained. I cannot defeat it alone. It has grown too strong. It has absorbed too much energy. What can we do? Lily asked desperately. Cathara replied between attacks. You must reactivate the temple. From there we can call for help. But how? Heather demanded. We're miles from the temple, and our suits are nearly drained. Cathara struck at the Voidborn, driving it back momentarily. There is a way. The temple network extends beneath the surface. Activation nodes exist throughout this region. I can sense one nearby. Karen joined the conversation. Where the nearest ruins are at least 10 miles from here. Not ruins. Cathara corrected disguise. The Luminari hid their technology beneath natural formations. Look for a formation of 3 stones arranged in a triangle. Amy called out from behind them. The standing stones. We passed them on the way in. About half a mile, northeast from here. Cathara nodded as she continued fighting Lily. You must go. Activate the node. The suit will show you how. Lily looked at Heather, then at Cathara, still locked in combat. I can't leave you. You must, Cathara insisted. This is not a battle. We can win now. We need reinforcements. Go. I will hold it here. Heather grabbed Lily's arm. She's right. We need to protect these people. Cathara can handle herself. Lily hesitated, torn between staying to help and completing the mission Cathara had given. Her Karen made the decision easier. 2 of my team can guide you to the stones, she said. The rest of us will load the injured and follow as quickly as we can. Cathara created a blinding flash of light, momentarily disorienting the Voidborn. Go now, she commanded. Lily nodded reluctantly. Then she turned to the research team, pointing at 2 of the security personnel. You 2 with me. The rest of you get ready to move as soon as we activate whatever this node thing is. Heather clasped Lily's shoulder, briefly. Be careful. Always. Lily replied, managing a smile despite her fear. She set off at a run with the 2 security team members following. The suit enhanced her speed, even in its depleted state, allowing her to cover ground quickly. The neural interface provided directions, guiding her northeast toward the standing stones Amy had mentioned. Behind them, the battle continued. Flashes of light illuminated the darkening sky as Cathara fought to contain the Voidborn, buying them precious time. The 3 standing stones came into view exactly as Amy had described them. 3 massive boulders arranged in a perfect triangle, weathered by time, but unmistakably placed with purpose. Lily approached the formation, her suit scanning for energy signatures. There it is, she said, as the helmet display highlighted a symbol etched into the base of the largest stone. Almost invisible to the naked eye, the symbol matched those she'd seen in the temple. The temple chamber erupted in blue light as the transport system activated Heather, and the research team materialized in the heart of the ancient structure. The same room where they had first discovered the battlesuits. Karen stumbled forward, disoriented from the transport, while Amy helped Nancy to a nearby platform. The rest of the team spread out, examining the alien technology with a mixture of awe and fear. Lily, Heather called, spinning around, searching for her friend. When she didn't appear, Heather slammed her fist against the nearest wall. She stayed behind. She sacrificed herself. The reality of what had happened settled over the group. Nancy looked up from where she sat. Her injured leg stretched before her. She saved us all, Karen approached Heather, placing a hand on her armored shoulder. We don't know for certain she's gone. The transport might have sent her somewhere else. Heather shook her head. The system was set to bring us all here. She stayed behind deliberately to delay that thing, to give us time. The floating sphere at the center of the chamber pulsed suddenly, drawing everyone's attention. It projected images into the air, showing the standing stones where they'd left Lily. The Voidborn had arrived, its massive form, engulfing the area in darkness. The team watched in horror as a small figure stood against the creature. A flash of light erupted as Lily deployed her final light spear. The image became chaotic energy patterns interfering with the temple's sensors. Then nothing but darkness. She's gone, Karen whispered. Heather refused to accept it. The display changed again. Now they saw Cathara engaged in her final battle. The alien warrior had fought valiantly, destroying 2 of the Voidborn before being overwhelmed by the 3rd. But something strange had happened in those final moments. Cathara had activated some kind of emergency protocol. Her armor had glowed with intense light before seemingly dissolving into energy. What happened to her? Amy asked, staring. At the image, Heather approached the sphere, studying the recording. The armor, it didn't just fail, it transformed. She looked around the chamber at the ancient technology surrounding them. What if these battle suits aren't just weapons? What if they're something more? The sphere responded to her presence, expanding its display. The images shifted, showing historical records of the Luminari. The scenes depicted warrior priestesses like Cathara, merging with their armor in times of extreme danger. Their physical forms becoming pure energy preserved within the temple network. The emergency protocol, Karen realized. It's not just a weapon, it's a preservation system. Heather felt hope rising. The records continued, showing how the preserved essence of a warrior could be reconstituted within the temple network. If Cathara survived. The suits are connected to the temple network. Heather turned to her own armor, which was slowly regaining power as it interfaced with the temple's energy systems. If Cathara's essence survived within the network, then Amy gasped, understanding. Could she have? Heather nodded. If her suit activated the same protocol at the moment of, the sphere pulsed again. New images forming. These showed energy patterns flowing through the temple network, signatures moving toward the central chamber. 2 distinct patterns, one clearly Luminari. In origin, the other, unmistakably human. They're alive. Karen breathed. The system is bringing them back. Heather felt her armor responding to the energy surge, power levels rising rapidly as the temple directed resources to her suit. The neural interface flooded with information, showing her what she needed to do. I know how to help them, she said, moving to the center of the chamber. The suit is showing me. The research team watched as Heather positioned herself before the sphere. Her armor began to glow brighter, connecting more deeply with the temple systems. She placed her palms against the sphere, focusing her intent as the suit guided her. The sphere responded, pulsing with increased intensity. Energy flowed from the surrounding systems, converging at the center of the chamber. 2 distinct energy patterns formed in the air, one silver-blue, the other golden-white. They spiraled, together growing more substantial with each passing moment. The team backed away, giving the energies room to manifest. The patterns took shape, gradually forming humanoid figures. First Cathara, her tall form becoming solid as her armor reconstituted. Around her, then beside her, a smaller figure materialized, Lily. Her armor damaged but her form intact. Both figures solidified completely, then collapsed to the floor. Karen and Amy rushed forward to help Lily, whose armor had powered down completely. Heather knelt beside Cathara. The alien warrior stirred, her eyes opening slowly. The swirling colors within them dimmer than before, but still present. You survived, Heather said, relief evident in her voice. Cathara sat up with effort. I have existed in Energy form before the temple remembers me. She looked at Lily, who was being helped to her feet. Did the human shiz here? Heather confirmed. The temple saved her too. Thera nodded with what might have been pride. The battlesuit recognized her worthiness. It protected her essence. Lily approached them, still unsteady. Her armor had shut down completely, the metal now inert against her skin. What happened? She asked. I remember facing the Voidborn. Then nothing but light. You died. Cathara stated simply. Then, she added. Or would have the battlesuit converted your physical form to energy at the moment of destruction, preserving your consciousness within the temple. Network. Lily looked down at herself. I feel pretty solid for someone who's supposed to be. Dead not dead, Cathara corrected, transformed, then restored. The process is not without cost. She gestured to her own form, which seemed somehow less substantial than before. Each time it happens, a small part of the original is lost. Karen, who had been examining Lily's inactive armor, looked up. Is she still human? As human as before, Cathara assured them. But now the temple knows her. It will always recognize her. Lily flexed her fingers, feeling strange but whole. Whatever happened, that Voidborn, is it destroyed? Clara confirmed. Your final attack combined with the transport energy created a resonance cascade. The creature was torn apart. But she cautioned others will come. The scout ship will have sent signals. More Voidborn will be drawn to your world. Nancy spoke up from where she sat, her injured leg being treated by one of the team. This temple. Can it help us fight them? Thera moved to the center of the chamber. The sphere responded to her presence, displaying star maps and defense systems. This temple contains weapons knowledge and technology that can help prepare your species. But alone it is not enough. We must awaken the other temples. Find the other guardians. How do we do that? Heather asked. Cathara gestured, and the sphere projected images of 11 other locations spread across different star systems. The temple network extends across vast distances. We can send signals, awaken the other guardians. But the nearest temple guardian is 3 light years from here, at what you call Alpha Centauri. The team exchanged glances. Humanity doesn't have interstellar travel, Karen pointed out. It would take decades to reach Alpha Centauri with our fastest ships. Thera smiled, a sight that was both beautiful and unsettling. The temple can send more than signals. The sphere expanded its display, showing a massive chamber deeper within the temple structure. A stargate, Amy whispered in awe. Not precisely, Cathara corrected. The temple can fold space, allowing instant travel between connected points, but only for those wearing luminary technology. The battlesuits are the key. Heather looked at her own suit, which had nearly regained full power. How many of these suits does the temple have? Cathara considered. 12 currently functional. More can be manufactured if we activate the proper systems. Karen stepped forward. So we could send people to these other temples. Awaken the other guardians, Cathara nodded. But time is short. The Voidborn you faced were merely advanced scouts. When their signals cease to transmit, others will investigate. The invasion will accelerate. We need to warn people. Heather said. Earth government's military. They need to know what's coming. Thera agreed. Your species must prepare while we seek the other guardians. Lily, who had been quiet, absorbing everything, finally spoke. How do we begin? First, Cathara said, we restore your armor. She approached Lily, placing her hand on the inert metal of the battlesuit. The suit responded, glowing faintly as Cathara channeled energy into it. The temple remembers you now. It will always respond to you. The armor began to shift, reforming around Lily. Power systems, reactivated neural interfaces, reconnected. Within moments, the suit had fully restored itself, adapting more perfectly to her form than before. It feels different, Lily observed, moving her arms, testing the response. More like part of me. It is part of you now, Cathara explained. The transformation process bonded you more deeply to the technology. Few humans have ever worn luminary armor. None have merged with it as you have done. Lily looked at her hands. The suit showed energy flowing beneath the surface, responding to her thoughts before she even completed them. Is this how it always felt for your people? Cathara nodded. The armor is alive in its way. It learns, grows, adapts. The longer you wear it, the more it becomes an extension of your consciousness. Karen, who had been examining the temple systems with scientific curiosity, looked up. Can your temple communicate? With our satellite network. Let us send messages to our governments. Cathara moved to a control panel. The temple can interface with your primitive communication systems. It will take time to establish compatibility. But yes, we can send warnings.